Hey, welcome to Salon Girl Gardens today. So we're going to talk about something dirty. Just kidding. We're going to talk about outdoor composting. What is it? Why do you want to do it? And how do you do it? So at its most basic level, outdoor composting is a big pile of leaves, grass, dead plants, kitchen scraps, anything that you have that your garden produces should go into your compost pile. It's a combination of green and brown materials. Brown meaning dried leaves, dead grass, twigs, dead plants, or green materials, which are trimmings from your garden, kitchen waste, spent flowers. So, why do we want to do it? Did you know that 28% of landfills are taken up with people's trimmings from their gardens? That buildup in landfills produces methane gas, which is a potential harmful greenhouse gas. So instead of just throwing it away, let's recycle and reuse it and then use it in our gardens. When we use it in our gardens, we get a nice, beneficial, free source of fertilizer for our plants. And if you're a gardener, that can save you tons of money. It also helps retain moisture in your soil. The combination of all four of those ingredients creates a beautiful humus that you can put into your garden, and your plants will thank you for it, as well as you're reducing harmful landfill waste. There happens to be a dachshund on top of my compost pile right now. What are you doing in there? As you can see, it's a mixture of chopped leaves, dead plants, there's some kitchen waste in here, and I come out here and I turn the pile every couple days. But look at down at the bottom what's being created. And when you start turning this compost, there's a bunch of little bugs in there that are doing their job, breaking down all this waste. And there's another dachshund on the compost hill. Short dog problems. They want to get as high as they can get. We also have a compost tumbler, but I've been super impressed with this compost because it's gone really fast. The compost tumblers tend to dry out. They take a longer time to process, and they're hard to manipulate. So let me show you this compost. I'm a short girl, and you can see that this is quite tall, and it's a pain in the butt to try and use a shovel to shovel the compost out of here and then schlep it to any place in my garden. But let me show you what's inside the compost tumbler right now. Look at that beautiful compost, and the smell is earthy, that good dirt smell. So it's not that it doesn't work, it does. It just takes a long time to do it. For me, I find it easier to create compost stations in my yard. So right behind me is one, the compost tumbler is another, and I'll show you a new compost pile that I'm creating on the west side of my house. Here I am on the west side of my house, and this compost pile is brand new, just from leaves that have just started falling and some potted plants that got frozen with the last freeze. So the compost process for me, doing it the way that I do it, takes, in summer it only takes about 3 weeks. That's pretty fast. In that compost tumbler, it would take all summer. So one thing I forgot to mention was you don't want to use any meat, oil, dairy, fish bones, meat bones, anything like that in your compost pile, because it can attract rodents. You also don't want to use coal or charcoal. Ashes from a wood fire are fine. Kitchen waste, I've got a big old bag of kitchen waste here and a coffee can full of kitchen waste. That's all fine. So I just put the kitchen scraps on top of that, and I turned the pile to cover the kitchen scraps. And you can see all the little bugs doing their job. So bury your new waste and get yourself a bedding fork. This bedding fork is awesome. Got it at Walmart for like 10 bucks. The leaves on all my trees still haven't completely fallen, but I thought I'd tackle what had fallen already and catch it on video for you guys so you see how easy it is to make compost. I use my blower to blow all the leaves into the grassy area, then I run over it with my little tiny electric lawnmower, which chops up all the garden waste, dead plants, leaves, etc., so I can throw it onto the compost pile. Take the catcher off, and this is what's been chopped up. You guys are probably laughing at my little mower that looks like a toy mower, but as you can see, I have very little grass. And I hope you start composting. Start small. If you don't have enough yard waste already in your yard, what I used to do when I first moved in, find landscapers who were doing their jobs, and I would ask them for their bagged leaves, and they were more than happy to give them to me. Anyway, thanks for joining me on this video, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye.